let's talk about Cassidy. I loved her as a character. She has an interesting family dynamic that she's not completely on board with yet. Talk to me about where Cassidy is when we meet her.
Cassidy is in a very unique place. She is, she's holding a little resentment towards Rebel, and I think there's a unique dynamic that they have there. They're not always seeing eye to eye, but I think that is because they are a lot alike, and most times that creates room for clashing and bumping heads. So that's kind of where we meet her in terms of her dynamic with her mother. But she is very passionate. She loves fighting for what's right, and that they do have in common. But she's a vibrant one. She's very passionate, and she's in the midst of trying to declare her name for herself and not always be directly connected to Rebel, who is famous. She wants to be herself. She wants to have her own path and kind of just cut the mother off a little bit.
What was it like for you working with Katey, and how is that experience?
It's so cool, honestly. It's it's very, very cool. I'm happy to claim her as my TV mom now. But she's such a sweet woman, so kind. Which is funny because you don't get to see that play out on camera between these two. In real life, she's extremely maternal, and it's very, very nurturing. And on camera, we're bumping heads all the time. So it's funny because in real life, as soon as they yell cut, we're always kind of like sorry, because we have so much respect for each other. So it's hard to be a little disrespectful in the conversations and raise our voice at each other. It's something we wouldn't ordinarily do. So it's been a joy working with her, and then just learning from her too, watching her process, watching how she just navigates being the star of so many shows, but just owning that position, but still being kind and leading with love for her cast and her crew.
What was the audition process like for you? Did you know that she was going to be playing your mom and James would be your dad and all of these different dynamic pieces?
I did know that she was going to be Rebel when I auditioned. I don't think I knew about James yet. But I auditioned in 2019. Actually, I submitted a tape because I was filming something else in Pittsburgh. So I got the audition and just like, okay, I'll send a tape, but we literally did it in my trailer. I sent it in, and then time went on. By the time I wrapped that film and came back to LA, they were still in the casting process and wanted me to come in person, which I then met all the producers, including our showrunner, Christopher Noff. And I came in, and it was a very long audition process. I think they worked me really hard in there. It was awesome, which is actors, we love that. Just having all the notes and the feedback in the room. With the audition probably took about 30 minutes, when usually an audition can honestly be like 5 minutes. So we were in there for a long time, playing with these scenes and seeing if we could discover something new in the room. And it was a unique experience because, again, you're in front of all of the producers, and so you're kind of nervous going in, but once Krista kind of led the direction of the scenes and stuff, and it became more of a conversation in a room to play. It felt like I was in theater class all over again, which is really fun. I didn't feel threatened, or I didn't feel intimidated by everyone looking at me. It was room to play and just discover things, and that's all an actor can ask for. So it was a lot of fun.
So, what traits of Cassidy do you two share?
The vibrance. She's a very colorful person and very passionate, and I wanted to bring that to her. Once I saw the direction of the wardrobe that they were going for her, that helped inform me of how out loud I could be and how colorful I could be. She's literally in bright pink and bright blue suits and patterns and all these different things. Amongst our colleagues, who the majority are men and in gray and black suits. So she shows up to work and she owns it. She doesn't have to fit into whatever the stereotypes are to exist in this space and to be a good lawyer. She doesn't feel like she has to change herself. And I think that's really unique and cool about her.
So Cassidy has siblings. They are from different fathers, but all with rebels. So what's her relationship and role like as far as within that dynamic amongst the siblings? Because every sibling takes a role.
Yes, every sibling takes a role. I think we all have different perspectives on our mom. We, my older brother, Nate, who's played by Kevin Zegers, him and I, we actually lived together in the story. We were roommates at the story. And him and I have a similar upbringing because we're close in age, but he's dealt with the past differently than what Cassidy is dealing, how Cassidy is dealing with the past. I think Cassidy's holding a little more resentment towards Rebel. Not so much Nate. He's kind of accepted what this is and he's gotten over it. And it's just, it is what it is. That's Rebel, whatever. Me, I'm kind of like, that's still bumping me. And I kind of am not letting it go, but that doesn't come in between him and I relationship. We're very, very close to each other. And same for our younger sister, Ziggy, who's played by Ariella Barber. And she's like, she's still in awe with our mother. She hasn't figured out that she isn't the best maternal figure yet. I think she believes she's really awesome in all of the things that she does. So she's in awe of Rebel still. So I am watching it and I'm observing it, but I'm also very protective of her innocence as well. And I want to make sure that she's taken care of. So it brings the siblings close. It doesn't tear us apart at all. We just have different perspectives on the relationship with our mom.
So what do you want the fans to get into and know about Cassidy and the show in general?
Well, Cassidy is entangled in a love triangle. So that'll be something interesting to look at and just to learn a different side about her. I think as a result of a mother like Rebel who's had several husbands, all of us kids have we have a little bit of love issues too. So we have Nate has his own infidelity issues that we uncover. I have, I like somebody, but I might not claim that person. So we all have different love issues. So that'll be fun. It's another fun element to the characters on a whole. It's just being able to know and uncover that detail behind what's presented at work.
So being that the times that we're in, race is a very sensitive issue and Rebel is a very free person. She doesn't seem to have those type of boundaries. Is that something that will be explored through the show because there is interracial love, but it doesn't seem to have some of the same stresses, at least right now, that we've seen in some other recent programming?
Yeah. That's a really great question. It's very diverse. Yes. But I think what I love about this is that we don't feel the need to talk about how diverse it is, because then that's putting a magnifying glass on race all over again. It's about love and it's about family dynamic. So it is very diverse. Even the workplaces are really diverse, which is a beautiful thing. And that's something that's very intentional from our showrunner, Krista. But I also love the fact that we don't have to talk about, oh, you're mixed or you're that, or you come from this, because we're just existing and it's just real for us. And we don't have to think about color on a day-to-day basis. And that's refreshing. Honestly, as a Black woman, it's really refreshing to not have to always carry the race and make it such a powerful character and this thing that could be a touchy subject. We just exist and we're showing a version of America, honestly. And that's just where we are starting to go into. There's a lot more diverse couples. There's a lot more diversity you even see in commercials now. And I love that. Instead of putting it on and making it a thing, just be it and show it and prove it. And I think that's what is attracting me about the style of casting on this.